G'day, mates. I'm Jake, your host. Say, have you ever wondered what it's like to travel with the ancient Egyptian gods around Egypt? Well, pack your bags and your sense of adventure, because today on Should I Go, I'm taking you on the Egyptian gods tour of Egypt. We're counting down the top 8 legendary Egyptian gods and visiting their favorite spots, from spooky tombs to colossal temples to incredible monuments and more. So bring your sunscreen and water bottles because we're hanging with the gods in this mysterious land known as Egypt. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now with that out of the way, the gods are calling us. Egypt, here we come. Let's begin in the desert. I mean, where else would we begin, right? Coming in at number 8 is Set, the ancient Egyptian god of chaos, deserts, and storms. You know that one rowdy mate who always stirs the pot? In the Egyptian pantheon, that's Set. He's the original bad boy, the bloke who chopped up his own brother Osiris. Yikes. Set's domain is the desert and anything wild and untamed. So where better to feel his presence than right here, in Egypt's white desert? Take a look around, mates. No, we haven't crash-landed on an alien planet. This is the White Desert National Park. These funky formations are made of chalk that's been sculpted by wind and sand over millennia. You've got giant mushrooms, ice cream scoop shapes, even one that looks like a camel. It's bonkers. If an Aussie like me can say something looks bonkers, you know it's true. Legend time. The Egyptians believed Set prowled the barren deserts bringing chaos. Standing here, you can totally imagine old Set whipping up a sandstorm just for a laugh. This landscape is chaos in geology, as if Set himself went on an artistic bender with the rocks. One minute it's flat sand, the next you're staring at a 20-foot chalk mushroom. Crikey, the vibe here is mysterious with a capital M. At sunset, the white desert turns pink and orange. It's otherworldly, almost alien-like. You half expect an ancient god or maybe E.T. to wander by. No wonder people whisper about supernatural energy in Egypt's deserts. Did you survive number 8? Let's leave Uncle Set to his desert mischief and head back towards civilization for our next godly encounter. Next up at number 7 is Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom, writing, and the moon. Basically, Thoth was the ancient Egyptians' walking Wikipedia with a moonlit twist. He's credited with inventing writing, mathematics, even magic spells. Talk about a know-it-all. We've paired Thoth with the Karnak temple because if knowledge is power, Karnak is the ancient power plant of knowledge. This place is massive, the largest religious complex on Earth. It's like 30 cathedrals squished together, built over 3,000 years. See that ibis-headed bloke on the wall? That's Thoth doing his thing, recording the Pharaohs' accomplishments. The walls of Karnak are covered in countless hieroglyphs, all thanks to Thoth's gift of writing. It's as if every square inch is an ancient story or magic spell. Karnak is so thoughtfully designed that even the sun and stars align with it, literally. Every year on the winter solstice, the sun's rays beam straight down the temple's main axis, illuminating the inner sanctuary. It's like Karnak becomes a giant celestial observatory. Who helped the priests figure out those fancy alignments? Thoth, of course. The god of astronomy and time knew his stuff. That's some next-level science for a society from thousands of years ago. Local legend says if you walk around this scarab statue 7 times, you gain a bit of wisdom, or maybe a wish. I'm on lap number 5. Hoping Thoth blesses me with the wisdom to not eat questionable street food later. Visiting Karnak, you can't help but feel tiny. These columns are like a stone forest. You'll crane your neck trying to see the tops. It's awe-inspiring, mysterious, and yes, a tad alien-like in its sheer scale. You walk where ancient scholars and priests walked, possibly where they whispered prayers to Thoth for guidance. Alright, knowledge seekers, let's give our brains a break and get ready to rock and roll literally with our next goddess. Number 6 on our tour is Hathor, the goddess of love, music, dance, and all things joyful. Picture an Egyptian festival drums, sistrums, those funky rattles. Everyone dancing, Hathor is there. After dealing with desert chaos and brainy hieroglyphs, we could use some of Hathor's good vibes, yeah? Welcome to Abu Simbel, and behind me is the Temple of Hathor, or as I like to call it, the Temple of Love. Pharaoh Ramses II built this little beauty for his favorite wife, Queen Nefertari, and dedicated it to Hathor. How sweet is that? I mean, what says I love you more than carving 30-foot-tall statues of your missus into a mountain, right? Nefertari is depicted here the same size as Ramses. That's a huge deal. Normally, pharaohs don't share the limelight. Ramses was basically saying, Hathor and Nefertari, you are equals to the pharaoh. Inside, the temple is cozy and filled with Hathor's spirit. See those columns with the faces? That's Hathor with her cow ears. She could take the form of a cow, symbolizing motherly love. The walls show Nefertari dancing and giving offerings to Hathor. It's like walking into an ancient love song carved in stone. And let's not forget the big Abu Simbel temple next door. Every year, the sun beams straight into the sanctuary on Ramses' birthday and coronation day. It's an ancient light show. Imagine ancient Egyptians watching the sunrise illuminate their gods deep in the temple. They must have thought it was magic. After a long day temple hopping, Abu Simbel at sunset is pure joy. Hathor definitely left her mark. You feel the love and the groove all around you. From the goddess of love to the god of the dead, time to get spooky, mates. Here at number 5, we have Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification and the afterlife's doorman. If the afterlife had a bouncer checking names on the list, that's Anubis. He's the one who preps you for your big journey to meet Osiris, wrapping you up nice and snug as a mummy. Welcome to Saqqara, one of the oldest and largest burial grounds in Egypt. This place is ancient. We're talking tombs older than the pyramids of Giza. The big star here is the Step Pyramid, built by King Djoser around 4,700 years ago. It's the world's first pyramid, kind of the great-great-granddaddy of all pyramids. And who would have been watching over those early burials? The god Anubis, of course. The Egyptians noticed jackals hanging around graveyards, so they figured those critters were Anubis guarding the dead. Makes sense. Anubis has the head of a jackal, a sleek black canine, always alert, ears perked, and always on guard. Saqqara is full of secrets. Underneath these sands, archaeologists have found hidden tombs, mummy caches, even entire burial galleries for sacred animals. There's a tunnel called the Anubis Catacomb, where hundreds of mummified dogs and jackals were laid to rest, likely in honor of Anubis. It's like an ancient pet cemetery dedicated to the god of embalming. Spooky and fascinating, yeah? The Step Pyramid itself was part of a whole funerary complex. Think of it as Djoser's afterlife palace. His architect, the legendary Imhotep, built it to help the king ascend to the heavens. Standing here gives you chills. You realize you're walking on ground that was sacred to people over 4 millennia ago. The air still carries that ancient mystery. Some of these tombs were only recently discovered, untouched since Anubis last checked them centuries ago. Amazing! So if you're into mummies and ancient mysteries, Anubis and Saqqara have got you covered, mate. Just remember to tip your embalmer. Now, onwards. Our next stop features a falcon and a hero's tale. Soaring in at number 4 is Horus, the falcon-headed god of the sky, kingship, and vengeance. He's the son of Osiris and Isis, who grew up to smack down his evil uncle Set. You remember him from number 8, right? Well, Horus even lost an eye in the fight. And that eye of Horus became the famous symbol of protection you see on every souvenir in Egypt. Here we are at Edfu Temple, dedicated entirely to Horus. This temple is one of the best preserved in Egypt. It's like walking into a time machine and landing in 200 BC, when the temple was brand spanking new and pilgrims came to honor Horus. The walls of Edfu are like a giant comic book telling the saga of Horus. There are scenes of Horus battling Set, who's often depicted as a nasty serpent or a weird hippo. Apparently, Set shape-shifted into a hippo to sneak attack his victims, but Horus, fueled by justice, prevailed. Every year, the ancient Egyptians celebrated this victory right here with a big festival. In these carvings, Horus is often shown as a falcon or a falcon-headed man wearing the double crown of Egypt. That's because every pharaoh was considered a manifestation of Horus on earth. So this temple isn't just about a god, it's royal propaganda too. The message, Horus, aka the Pharaoh, will protect you and destroy the forces of chaos. It's pretty epic, like an ancient action film etched in stone. And here we are in the inner sanctum, the Holy of Holies. It once held a golden statue of Horus and a sacred bark, a long flat boat. Priests would perform rituals here out of sight from the public. It's quiet. You can almost sense the divine atmosphere. Edfu Temple gives you that wow factor without even needing imagination. It's massive, mysterious, and nearly intact. Walking through its halls, you truly feel like you're side by side with Horus, and maybe, just maybe, you feel a bit heroic yourself. So if you're a fan of good triumphing over evil, you'll love Edfu. Now onward we go to meet Horus's magical mother, the one and only Isis. We've arrived at number 3, the beloved goddess Isis. She's the goddess of magic, motherhood, and healing. Imagine the ultimate mother figure who's also a powerful sorceress. That's Isis. She's the wife of Osiris and mother of Horus, and honestly the glue that holds this divine family together. When Osiris got diced up by Set, Isis didn't curl up and cry. No, she went on a quest to put hubby back together, literally, and used her magic to resurrect him. Talk about dedication. This gorgeous place is the Temple of Isis at Philae, on an island that is so picturesque you'll think you've stepped into a postcard. Now, full disclosure, the temple used to be on a slightly different island nearby, but it got relocated here in the 1960s to save it from flooding when the Aswan High Dam was built. Can we all just say a quick thanks to the engineers who saved this jewel? They moved it piece by piece, almost like how Isis gathered the pieces of Osiris. Fitting, eh? Philae was a major center of Isis worship. In fact, this was one of the last pagan temples operating in the classical world. People were coming here to worship Isis well into the 6th century AD. That's how much staying power she had. And standing here you get it. The place feels special. The stone is warm. The hieroglyphs still have traces of paint in them. And everywhere you see Isis depicted with her throne-shaped crown or nursing baby Horus, the energy is gentle but powerful. Isis was known as Great of Magic, and I swear there's still magic in the air on Philae. Many tourists say this island has a certain vibe. Maybe it's the echoes of ancient chants, or the way the columns stand like an open-air cathedral. Or maybe Isis herself is still here with us. Either way, it's captivating. Oh, and if you want a treat, come back at night for the Sound and Light show. They illuminate the temple and narrate the story of Isis and Osiris as you walk through the complex. Mysterious shadows, the starry sky above, a total ancient aliens-like grandeur moment. Philae is peaceful, enchanting, and absolutely bucket list material. Isis's compassion and magic seem to touch this place. By the time you leave, you'll understand why people were devoted to her for thousands of years. Trust me, you'll be under her spell too, in the best way. We've arrived at number 2, Osiris, the great god of the afterlife, resurrection, and judge of the dead. Osiris is the god who rules over life after death. Every pharaoh wanted to become Osiris when they died, basically joining Osiris's VIP afterlife club to live forever. Remember how Set gave him the chop, literally? Well, thanks to Isis's magic, Osiris was revived, but he decided to retire from Earth and rule the underworld. So think of Osiris as the eternally benevolent king of heaven and hell. And here we are in the famed Valley of the Kings, the ultimate neighborhood for pharaohs after they kick the bucket. There are dozens of tombs hidden in these cliffs, each designed to ferry the deceased king to Osiris's realm. The art on these walls, it's basically a cheat sheet for the soul to navigate the afterlife. And guess who's often there to greet them in paintings? Osiris. Green-skinned and regal, welcoming them to the party eternal. Check out Osiris in all his underworld glory. Green skin, he's not seasick. Green symbolizes regeneration, wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt, holding the crook and flail. He's like, welcome, you made it. Welcome to the afterlife. If I had to face a judge of the dead, I'd want it to be a chill guy who's been through, well, death himself, and came out okay. The Valley of the Kings is mysterious, grand, and otherworldly. It was kept secret in ancient times. The pharaohs didn't want tomb raiders dropping in uninvited. But over the centuries, most of the tombs were looted, until modern archaeologists started finding them. Remember Howard Carter discovering Tutankhamun in 1922, opening that vault and exclaiming, "I see wonderful things." Man, that still gives me goosebumps. That intact tomb was like a time capsule from Osiris's afterlife kingdom. The Valley of the Kings is humbling. The silence here is powerful. Each tomb tells a story of hope. Hope that life goes on, that Osiris will grant eternal life. It's mesmerizing and awe-inspiring. Standing in the Valley of the Kings, you can't help but feel the weight of history. The silence here is powerful. The tombs, the mystery will leave you speechless. This place is everything ancient Egypt has to offer. And now at number 1 we have Ra, the almighty sun god, the mythological MVP of ancient Egypt. Ra was the creator, the source of light, the guy who sailed across the sky every day in a fiery boat and then cruised through the underworld every night fighting off a giant chaos serpent just so he could rise again at dawn. Being the sun god is a 24/7 job, apparently. Welcome to Giza, home of the last surviving 7 wonders of the ancient world, the Great Pyramid, and truly a playground fit for Ra. I mean, these pyramids have stood here for 4,500 plus years, soaking up the sun. If that's not dedication to Ra, I don't know what is. Every morning, the sun pops up over the horizon and lights up the pyramids. The ancient Egyptians designed these monuments of stone with a lot of solar symbolism. The pyramid shape. Some say it represents the sun's rays shining down. In fact, one of the old names for the Great Pyramid was Iket, meaning glorious light. The pharaohs were basically saying, "Yo, Ra, when I die, beam me up." They believed their souls would climb those sun rays to join Ra in the sky. Kinda beautiful, isn't it? And check out the enigma that is the Great Sphinx. It has the body of a lion and the head of a pharaoh, most likely Khafra. This ancient guardian of the plateau is thought by many to represent Ra or possibly Horus, the sun or the horizon. At the equinoxes, the sun sets right between the pyramids, and from some angles it looks like the Sphinx is gazing straight at the setting sun, as if saying goodnight to Ra. The sheer precision and grandiosity here have spawned a gazillion aliens built it theories. As your Aussie guide, I'll just say, I believe humans did this, but by Ra it feels out of this world standing here. Let's talk scale. The Great Pyramid was the tallest man-made structure on Earth for almost 4,000 years. 4,000 years. What beat it? The bloody Eiffel Tower in Paris. That was built in 1889. Nothing else came close to the Great Pyramid for thousands of years. Amazing. And it's all precisely aligned to the cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, with mind-blowing accuracy. How did they do it without GPS and modern machinery? Crikey! I doubt we humans could build this thing today with all our technology. Some say it was Ra's divine guidance. Who knows? But the entire Giza complex is absolutely astounding. Being here is a humbling experience. You feel tiny, but also incredibly inspired. The pyramids radiate energy. Maybe it's psychological, maybe it's Ra's ancient solar power still humming, but you feel something magical and mystical. The ancient Greeks and Romans came here as tourists too, you know, and they were gobsmacked like the rest of us. At sunset, you might catch a glimpse of why the Egyptians worshipped Ra so fervently. The sky over Giza ignites in reds and golds, and the pyramids become silhouettes, like giant ethereal triangles pointing to the heavens. It's pure magic. For a moment, you can almost see the solar bark of Ra sailing off into the night. And as the stars come out, you remember that every day without fail, Ra rises again. It gave the Egyptians hope, rhythm, and order in an uncertain world. There's a reason Ra and the pyramids are number 1. They symbolize the grandest ideas of ancient Egypt: eternity, divine order, and human achievement reaching for the sky. Stand here, and you're standing in the footprints of pharaohs, priests, conquerors, and explorers throughout history, all gazing up at the same pyramids in awe. It's transcendent, mates. You have to experience this at least once in your life. Well, there you have it, the Egyptian gods tour of Egypt. 8 legendary gods, 8 jaw-dropping locations. From Set's wild desert playground to Ra's sun-kissed pyramids, we've spanned the realms of chaos, wisdom, love, death, heroism, magic, and eternal life. Phew, what a ride. These places aren't just piles of stones or distant tales. They're living stories you can walk inside of and experience firsthand. The mysterious, alien-like grandeur of Egypt's monuments has been wowing travelers for centuries, and trust me, seeing them in person is a whole other level of wow. So the big question, should you go to Egypt? Well, if trekking in the footsteps of gods, getting lost in pharaohs' tombs, And dancing where ancient goddesses danced sounds like your kind of adventure. Then pack your bags. Follow these gods' footsteps right to Egypt. Feel the magic for yourself. Watch a sunrise you'll never forget. Touch history with your own hands. And maybe say a little good day to Ra, Osiris, Isis, and all the Egyptian gods while you're at it. Thanks for joining me on this mythological journey across Egypt. Remember to like the video and subscribe to Should I Go, so you never miss one of our compelling adventures. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and may your travels be as bright as Ra's sunshine. Cheers.